Hey guys, and welcome to Achieve with Carolina Live. I'm Carolina Romaniuk, your child and family sleep consultant, and I help families to get a good night's sleep and to understand their children's sleep needs. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time out of your day just to, learn a little bit more on how to help your little one get some sleep. And thank you for letting me be a part of that. So what I usually do is kind of like a little recap of when all of this started with hi Tina Marie, with these talks that I've been doing. So it's been roughly 2 months, and I do them every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from at 10 o'clock sharp Eastern. So if you are watching the replay or you are just signing on right now, just kind of giving a little understanding in where I came up with the talks. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little heads up on another event that I'm going to be doing. I'll be talking about that in a few minutes, later on, but I kind of wanted to really just tell you why I came about this, because I've been getting a couple of emails and notifications. Hey Megan, on how did I come up with this idea to start doing these talks and doing them on a daily basis almost, when I first started. So I just been getting lots of questions from parents, and I wanted to make sure, and I started to notice that there's a pattern in them, and I wanted to start to kind of answer them, but on a larger scale as opposed to doing one-on-one. And I love talking to people, and I know that when Facebook Live came out that it was something huge, and I needed to really kind of look and focus on that so I can answer more questions for parents and to help them out on a larger platform. So I thought it would be really cool for me just to start doing the live videos, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm seeing that a lot of you guys are enjoying them too, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm going to be continuing on doing them every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I would love it if you would be able to share the videos when I'm going to be talking. Angelica, you're saying the video won't work for some reason? I don't know. Everything's working on my part. Maybe you need to tune out and then come back in. Hi Alana, thanks for joining. So what I was just mentioning is I would really love it if you guys can share. When you share, sharing is caring. So when you share, we get more people on, more families that can ask questions, and then I can help more people to get a good night's sleep. So if you have any friends, colleagues, anyone on your page that might need assistance with sleep, feel free to share it right below. You can click on that now, or if you watch any of the previous videos and then you feel that it might kind of create a little light bulb effect for someone that might be in need of a specific topic that we were talking about in the previous videos, that would be awesome if maybe you could highlight their name and share it for them too. So let's get started on tonight's talk. So we're going to be talking about toddlers and cribs to big bed. So how to ease the nighttime transition from a little baby, to a big kid, right? So there are a lot of things that you need to look into beforehand. Of course, age, maturity is huge indicators. So before we get into that, there comes a time in your baby's journey when you will notice that you might say one of the 3 following phrases. So one I usually get from my parents is, my kid hates their crib. They just hate it, and they always end up sleeping in our bed, but no one actually sleeps. So if that is you, give me a thumbs up, give me a 1, let me know in the comments below if that resonates with you. The second one is, woohoo, you just turned 2. Let's celebrate by getting you a big bed. If that phrase resonates with you, give me the number 2 and put it in the comments below. I want to know how many people that are on tonight that we're going to be talking about the toddler sleep are thinking about transitioning their little one into a toddler bed. They still don't know, or that you have transitioned and kind of things just went a little haywire. Maybe they were good the first couple of days, maybe the first couple of weeks, and now you just really don't know what to do because they just keep ending up in your bed. So the first, just to do a recap, the first phrase that you probably might catch yourself saying is that your kid hates their crib and that they always end up sleeping in your bed, but at the same time, nobody sleeps. The second one is, woohoo, you just turned 2, and let's celebrate by getting you a big bed. The third one is baby number 2 is on the way, and now it's time for a big bed. So those are the 3 phrases that you might find yourself, saying when, if you think that it's time for transition for your little one to go into a big bed. Hi Maria, hi Antonia. Thanks for joining, guys. So what we're just talking about right now is transitioning from crib to big bed, and 3 phrases that you most likely have said at one point, and you know, just to resonate with you transitioning your little one into a big bed. So the steps that I would want you to take right now, we're going to go into that. And if you have any specific questions, type them in the comments below and I'll be able to answer them. Right now, I just want to go through all the pieces and then I'll go through one by one to answering your questions. Okay, cool? So the first step is, before you do the switcheroo, before you transition your little one into a toddler bed, make sure that there are 2 factors that are put into place. That there is a maturity level and there's a safety level that you have considered. One is the maturity level. It's very, very important. And what I mean by that is that your child should be mature enough to understand that when they go into a transition bed, it's not something that should be taken lightly. It's huge. When a little one is going from a crib, from a close-knit space that they're used to, since birth, most of the time it's since birth, and then when they turn, let's say for example 2 years old to anywhere to 4, they start showcasing ways that they want to be put into a toddler bed. Now you need to know the maturity level, because 2 years old is the youngest that they can start showing indications of this. They might throw their leg over, they might try and even jump out of the crib, they might even actually come out of the crib and come into your own room. But 2 years old, most cases, is really, really young to be transitioning to a toddler bed. That's why I'm saying you need to understand your child's maturity level, if they can handle it being in a big bed. Now what I mean by that is the size of a crib versus the size of a toddler bed are, even though they have the same mattress, they're open space. So an open space means that they can come out and they can roam around. So if your child is not mature enough and they don't understand the rules that are set into place when they're going to put into a toddler bed, they will just come out and they'll roam around. And that just indicates one part of the maturity level, that they don't understand, that they can't comprehend fully that this is your sleeping space and we stay in it, as opposed to coming out. At 2 years old, it's very difficult to explain something like that to a child because they're still learning the grasps of it. When they're a little bit older, they can handle things a little easier and better in ways when you're explaining things to them. So that's why you should understand your child's maturity level on that part. For an example, my kids, my oldest, Ari, we had him transitioned at 2 years old. Into a toddler bed, but I knew he was mature enough and he never came out of his toddler bed. He was totally fine in it. But our youngest, Aaron, we kept him in the crib up until 3, like around 3 years old, because I knew that he wasn't at that same capacity level that Ari was at that time, so he needed to stay a little bit longer in the crib. Now I don't want you to think that, oh my god, that's so bad, why are they in there for such a long period of time, like age-wise, at an older time frame. It's not. Anywhere between 2 and 4 years old is totally normal to transition a child. Usually when they get closer towards 4 years old, they will actually ask you that they would want to move into a bigger bed. So you want them to be ready. You don't want to force anything upon them and think that, oh my God, just because that they're throwing their leg over, that means an automatic indication, yeah, I need to go get a big bed. No, that's not how it works. They will ask you for it. You will see other cues for it, except for the physical aspect. The reason why that's happening when they throw their leg over is that they're just going through another, if they're 2 years old, they already know that they can jump, that they're kind of, they're developmentally growing. So they can do that. They can throw their leg over. There are other ways that you can kind of help them stay in the crib. One of them is like a sleep sack you can do. If you have a crib that has those nice arches, you can turn it around so that's on the outside, and then you can have the flat surface of the rail touching the wall. That's another aspect that you can do that. So looking into the maturity factor, and then the second one is looking into the safety factor. So safetiness, what I mean by that is if they do come out of the crib, that or if they're going to be in a toddler bed, the room is safe, that there's no loose drawers anywhere, everything is locked, it's secured. The sockets for the electricity sockets are closed off, that there's nothing around that can be hazardous to them. You want their room to be a safety zone. So looking into the maturity factor and safetiness are two huge factors that you need to look into before even thinking about transitioning your child into a bed. Now, the second step that I would want you to look into is that everything in parenthood land has a plan of action, that there's always something that you need to be like one step ahead, right? So there are 3 simple steps that we can do in order to transition your little one from a crib into a big bed. So the first one is decide the type of bed that your little one will be getting. Now there are 2 kinds. Is it a toddler bed or is it going to be a twin bed? If it's a toddler bed, the crib mattress should fit into a standard size toddler bed. Toddler beds are lower to the floor. Twin size beds are higher up. So if you do have a twin bed, you would need to get rails. Some toddler beds have really pretty rails that are built on them. Like we had a toy car, so like a racing car bed. So those had really high rails that were built on them, so they were totally fine. So you just need to decide on which one that you want. Toddler beds usually go up until 4 to 6 years old. Twin beds can go all the way up until high school. So you just decide on which bed that you want and go from there. So that's the first thing. The second step is safetify the room with making sure that the drawers, the electricity sockets, everything is secure and that there's nothing loose within the room. You need to make sure that when your little one is sleeping, if they do come out, which can happen, of course, that if they do, they're not going to pull on anything, they're not going to stick inside anything, that it's safety measures. That's what you want to do. Hey Lana. So hey Patricia, we're getting a lot of people on. Again, if you guys have any questions, type in, the deal by now. We're going over the steps for going from a crib to a big bed. So the third simple step is holding a family meeting. Very, very important for a child, specifically when they're going through changes in their life. This is a change that is going to happen. I don't want you thinking that, oh my God, they're going from a crib to a big bed. No big deal, right? Wrong. It's a huge, huge deal for toddlers when they're going into a big bed. That means they're graduating. They're not a baby anymore. They're a big kid, and that's something huge, and you need to set rules for that. I can't stress that enough. If you don't have rules set in place when you have your toddler going into a toddler bed or a twin bed, a bigger bed from their crib, you're going to have them roaming around or coming into your room. 99% of the time, that is what happens. It's very rare for a child to actually stay in their bed, in a toddler bed, because what happens is, picture it, right? One night, it's dark. They're holding on to their teddy bear. All of a sudden, their teddy bear falls on the floor. They pick it up. They put their feet down to pick it up. Uh-oh, no one sees me. I can walk around the house. And what do? They get up, they start waltzing off. Usually they make it towards your bedroom. And then the next day they repeat the same thing. Then the next day they repeat the same thing. And then that's when I get a call from my parents telling me, how do I get my kid back into their bed? I don't know what to do. So the factor of them having a maturity level and being mature enough to actually sleep in their toddler bed plays a huge role in that. So you want to make sure, again, that you're holding a family meeting, that you're letting your little one know that there are rules. You have rules for you sleeping in your bed. For an example, you don't watch TV, you go to bed at the same time. You know, this is your sleeping space, and now they have their sleeping space. So you have to set rules for yourself, and you set rules for your little one as well. They should know what is expected of them when they're sleeping in a toddler bed. So if you want to maybe do role play, and they can tuck you in and show you how, how they would be sleeping in their bed, that's something that you can do too. So role reversal is really cool to do this at when you're switching from crib to toddler bed. So those are my tips I have for you for today. Let's see what time it is. Wow, this was a quickie video. So I want to know, do you guys have any questions? What's going on through your heads? Have you transitioned your little one from a crib to a toddler bed? Let me know. No questions? Nothing? Okay. I guess I did a good job in giving you guys tips and stuff like that. So again, if you liked this video, like it. If you loved this video, share it. And I will get to talk to you guys next week. Oh, Antonia has, do you like the sleep sack? Yes, I like the sleep sacks. But if your little one hasn't been introduced to one, it might be a little tough for them when they're a toddler to get accustomed to it. So it depends. If you've been using a sleep sack, then that's good. If you haven't used it and you're trying to introduce it when they're a toddler, it might be cumbersome for some kids. Some kids would say, like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you putting this weird thing on me all of a sudden? So just, don't stress about it. If your little one is not taking the sleep sack, that's okay. But I do love them. And they have so many different companies, just making sure that the one that you have, that they're comfortable and that it can grow with your child as well. Any other questions, guys? Yes, it helps them not climb out of the crib. Cool. Okay, so, Julie. Any tips on how to get a toddler to fall asleep on his own? I do, but that's not part of this video. So, Julie, if you have specific questions on that, you could PM me, or we can schedule a call together. I want to do the questions on here relative to the topics. So if you do have specific questions on how to help your toddler to fall asleep on their own, let me know, because I need to know a little bit more about why your little one is not sleeping. Like, what is happening? What's your sleep story? So why don't we just schedule a free introductory call? I have my calendar that I posted up on top, and then I'll get a chance to know a little bit better, and then I can advise you on what to do on those steps. Hey Jane, you joined late tonight. So, okay, I think that's it. We're getting in the questions now. So let's see. Victoria says, my 9-month-old wants to sleep on his belly. Leave him or flip him back. Okay, so guys, I want to keep the questions relative to the topic. If you have a question that is not relative to the topic, please message me or schedule a call with me, so we can kind of keep the flow. I don't want the questions kind of go away from specifically from the topic. But just to quickly answer your question, Victoria, if your 9-month-old is flipping on his belly, by that point he should know how to fully flip from belly to back, back to belly. If he doesn't, then I would look into early intervention and to help him practice mastering those skills during the day. If he can't flip back, then you can help him, but I wouldn't continue on doing that too much, because then you are doing the work for him. He needs to learn how to master that technique himself. Doing it during the day really helps significantly as well. Cool? Okay, so any other questions, guys? I feel like my videos are getting shorter and shorter, but I want to give you as much info as possible, but at the same time, I'm not trying to stretch out the time too much. So are there any other awesome questions, hopefully relative to the video? If you guys have toddlers, I want to know about if you are transitioning them, if you think that you're going to transition them, or how to go about it, you know, something that deals with crib to big bed. Okay? So cool. I guess no more questions for tonight. Again, the videos that I'm going to be doing are every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 10 o'clock p.m. And talk to you guys on Monday. So have an awesome rest of the week, and awesome weekend. And I'll see you Monday evening. Sweet dreams, everyone. Love you. Bye.